Welcome to the Houdini Show. I'm your presenter Harry, and today, coming up for you, we have a music video, a documentary, and to top that off, I am joined by local radio presenter Neil Caddy.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello Neil, thank you so much for coming in to see us today.
Very welcome.
Now, the burning question is, how did you get onto the radio?
Well, funny story really. I actually started working at Pirate FM back in 1997. So my studies were in business and finance. So I actually had the opportunity to work part-time in a finance sort of support role. So whilst it was a radio station and it was a really exciting place to be, that wasn't actually my initial plan. So I was working purely in the world of finance. I did find out pretty quickly that finance wasn't really my strongest of points, but because it's a great place to work and everyone was very open and it was a great culture, I just started asking some questions about actually what was happening on the radio. So in a very quick space of time, I was being asked if I could help out with some bits behind the scenes, and I thought, well, why not? It's a great place to work and great people. And then I was doing some recorded elements which were playing on overnights and at weekends. And then a new programming boss joined the station, and I said, look, I've been doing a little bit of this. I'd be really interested to find out a little bit more. And at that point, didn't think I was going to hear anything at all. But he came back to me soon after and said, look, what are you doing in a couple of weekends' time? I was like, well, I'm not really quite sure. Well, what are you asking me? And he said, well, I need to have a weekend breakfast show covered. So it all happened very quickly, and I don't think I was probably best prepared, but I was given an opportunity, and I took it, and a quarter of a century later, I'm still on the radio. So I'm very thankful to be given that opportunity and still enjoying it every day.
So Pirate FM has recently changed to Hits Radio. How do you think these changes will benefit your listeners?
It will. I think for some listeners who've lived with Pirate FM and grown up with Pirate FM over the years, I think it was a little bit of a shock maybe, because I think Pirate is very synonymous with Cornwall, Pirates of Penzance and so on. And I think we've done an amazing job at Pirate FM over the years to be something for everybody. And it's very sad to say goodbye to the brand. However, it's an exciting new world of radio. Radio is evolving, and it has to evolve because radio is now competing against streaming services, your Spotify's and everything which is online. So Bauer are the parent company of Hits Radio and Greatest Hits Radio. So essentially, it's become two radio stations. So whilst Pirate FM was trying to be something for everybody, what the life of a 25-year-old is completely different to the life of a 65-year-old, say. Yeah. So what the opportunity for Hits as a slightly younger radio station and what Greatest Hits as a slightly older radio station can do is actually target those audiences better. So it's a bit more focused. I mean, ultimately, the most important thing that people wanted from us as a radio station over the years is local news and information, followed by traffic and travel, and followed by music. So by having the closer focus to the younger audience with Hits Radio, we can play a better music repertoire for them. And likewise with Greatest Hits Radio, they can play a better music repertoire for the slightly older age. But throughout, the local news and information is exactly the same as it was on Pirate FM. So I think it's a better focus. I think radio listeners will benefit, but also advertisers, because we're a commercial radio station, so they'll benefit too. So if a client is maybe a car dealer and they've got a new, cheap, economical car that's aimed at a younger audience, they may choose to advertise on Hits Radio. But equalise, if there's a more luxury car, then obviously for the older age groups who have got more money to spend, then they can advertise on Greatest Hits. So I think actually listeners and clients and advertisers in Cornwall are going to benefit.
Wow. So you and Safi are a great team and do great TikTok dances on a Friday. Do you think this will still continue?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't confess to being the best dancer by any means, as you can probably tell if you've seen them. But the thing is, radio is, when people turn on the radio, we're with them in the car, we're with them in the bathroom, we're with them, in the kitchen. It's a very personal kind of medium. But with video, with TikTok and social media, it actually shows another side to who we are and what we do. Because, we are real people. We're all walking amongst the same streets. We'll walk through town and pass one another. We really are living the lives of people in Cornwall. So it just gives people an opportunity to actually see us doing something a little bit different, rather than having a giggle in the morning or, unfortunately, delivering, you know, some more sad news which might be in the local news on that particular day. It's just a different side. But yeah, we'll continue to. I'm sorry, but you will continue to see me trying to dance on TikToks. But it's good fun.
That's good. So you have been on our local radio wave since 1997. That's 27 years. What has been your career highlight?
My goodness, I think there are so many things which we've achieved on the radio over the years, changing people's lives, people winning some great prizes, giving people opportunities to win prizes that they wouldn't maybe not otherwise have afforded. We've given away cars and holidays and all kinds of things. So I think being able to do all of those things is great. But I think my career achievement is actually to be on The Breakfast Show. Yeah. I mean, as I said, when I first started working at what was Pirate FM, never believed for 1 minute I'd be on the radio. But after, you know, a quarter of a century later, I'm actually on The Breakfast Show, which is brilliant. And it's unique. It's, you know, to be able to wake up with thousands of people every day, and you can actually change the mood of someone depending on how, you know, what you're talking about and what content there may be and what music you're playing. So it's a privilege that people will turn on the radio to listen to what you do. So I think two things really. One, to be on The Breakfast Show, and two, to be on the radio after all of these years and still enjoying it, because no 2 days are the same.
Well, thank you so much for coming into our studio today, and feel free to stay around to see what's coming up next.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harry.
Thank you. No worries. Now, made by a local student, a short documentary about the life of a music tech. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name's Finley and I've been a sound and lighting technician for 3 years now. Well, a mate of mine asked me, he wanted a bit of help because he didn't, his help wasn't available one lunchtime, so he was like, do you want to come and help? So I came and helped. You know, I was doing a bit of lighting, a bit of sound while there was Christmas concert going on. After that, I've been doing it ever since. Well, after I started doing it, in the gantry where we do our lighting and all that lot, it sort of was a right mess, and it sort of hasn't really evolved since the old teacher left. And so me and my mate, we took, you know, most breaks and lunchtimes we were there tidying it up and sorting all the lighting out, cleaning all the lights and sort of making sure everything was working. So when we did the show, the setup was easy, and you know, it sort of, over the 2 years that we were there, we really sorted it out, and the productions became a lot more high quality, and yeah, so it sort of evolved. I started off doing a bit of sound, so I was using basically a digital sound desk that we have, and then the mate of mine, he wanted to go and do the sound, so then I swapped with him. And I've been doing the lighting ever since, so I look after all the lighting that was on the gantry at the time, and so that meant I did all the rigging, you know, all the cabling, and also all the operating of the lighting desk, as well as checking all the lights and making sure they were all working. Well, as I said, I started 3 years ago, and actually it really sort of, you know, took my interest, and most, as I said, most breaks and lunchtimes we were sort of there, you know, and we had a really good friendship between me and the other person that was doing it, and we ended up getting a lot of opportunities. So we ended up doing a performance, a live musical, Matilda the musical, and the Hall for Cornwall came in to do that with us, and they ended up letting us sort of go to their thing and looking around all the lighting and stuff like that, and we actually performed it there as well. So it's really nice to sort of use all their equipment, and we actually got to know the lighting and sound technicians there really well, and they gave us lots of advice and how we can improve our own practices. And that actually just goes to shows that, you know, anyone can do it as long as you've got the passion for it. Then yeah, it's incredibly rewarding to see what you see, and you get to, you know, do some really high stuff in, you know, yeah. If people that want to get involved with this job, you need to make sure you have a passion for it first, because it's very demanding with, especially travelling around with shows, because normally you're the first one in to set all the equipment up and the last one's out.
Wow, how good was that? Make sure to check it out on YouTube. Now, coming up after the break, we have a music video lined up for you, sent in by a local band.
Don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life.
my hands on myself. Think I'll dust them off, put them back up on the shelf. Kiss my little baby girl is in need. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel.
Happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life.
Welcome back. Now that you've had your toilet breaks, let's move on to a music video sent in by local band Teenage Jesus. Wow, that was epic. I hope you move on to making your own music one day. Now, unfortunately, the time has come to wrap up the show. I'd like to thank my guests, Neil Caddy, our local student, and Teenage Jesus, but also a big thank you to my amazing team who brought this show together.